everybody, here we are. We are GFBS. We're Grand Forks' best source, and it's time now for your Berkshire Hathaway bi-weekly podcast. And joining us on the show today, your realty expert, John Brodeen. And we'll be back to talk with John Brodeen from Berkshire Hathaway right after this.
Look, if home feels too big, let's get you a smaller one. And it's okay if the process seems daunting or you're having a hard time letting go. Because our network agents have the expertise to help you downsize and get you to just the right size. Now, let's go get you home. Look.
And there we go. And GFBS would like to welcome back the piano lady. She's here. John, I don't think you know anything about the piano lady, but how are you, man?
Good, man. Good. How about yourself?
Good. I was following you on social media this past weekend. You were down beating people up or something. Tell us about your weekend.
So, yeah, we drove down to the cities on Friday. So I had my tournament all day on Saturday. It was a long day. I had 9 matches total. And there's some really tough guys in my division. So, but I did pretty well. I was happy with how it went. I got gold in the gi and then silver in no gi.
Wow.
So, yeah.
9 fights in one day? Is that common?
That's a pretty big tournament. Like that's a lot for even for a tournament, because this particular tournament is round robin. Mm-hmm. So you have a lot more matches. When it's a single elimination tournament, you might have to win your first match, your second match, and then your third match is maybe the gold medal match or something like that. In a round robin, I had 4 matches in each division, or I guess one guy dropped out of the tournament. So I had 3 matches in the round robin in my no-gi division. I had 4 matches in the round robin in my gi division. And then the 2 guys so there's 2 sides of the bracket. The 2 guys with the best records face off in the final. So
no gi and gi.
Yeah, gi is like the judo uniform.
Oh, okay.
Like you probably, if you saw my picture that I posted, the first one where I had first place, that's the gi.
Okay.
And the difference is you can grab onto it. You can use it to hold onto them and do throws. You can do certain submissions with the gi. And then no gi is a little more like wrestling.
Okay.
It's faster. You can slip out of things easier.
Sure.
So it's slightly different technique, but still same sport.
So this might be a dumb question, but do you have like a belt?
Yep. I'm a blue belt.
You're a blue belt. Okay. Well,
yeah.
you don't look too beat up. You look pretty good, man.
No injuries, just sore and tired, man.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
So then you'd get to take Sunday off and just chillax a little bit?
Yeah, we don't train Sundays to begin with, but then I was back in the gym Monday and Tuesday, so.
I could talk about this stuff all day, but...
Yeah, I know. I'd love to.
I guess you're here for a reason, right?
Yeah.
This is a question I wanted to ask you. Maybe I'm looking for a new house, and so I'm going to put mine on the market. Now, do I list my home before I go look for a new house, or do I list it after I've already found a new house, or what would you recommend, and what should somebody do?
So I'm glad you asked this, and this is something that we end up handling all the time with people, and it's really going to depend on the type of market that you're in. So if you would have asked me this in 2019, a little different answer than what it's going to be right now.
Okay.
The market we're in right now is a strong seller's market. That means there's a lot of buyers in the market looking for a home for each listing that's on the market. In a buyer's market, it's the other way around. There's a lot of listings on the market for each buyer that's out there looking.
Right.
So the biggest question that I would ask you is, after I send you to the bank, I'd say, is your pre-approval letter contingent on you selling your home or not? Okay. So if it is contingent on you selling your home, and for most people it's going to be, not always, then yes, you should list your home and get an accepted offer before you get serious about home shopping. Here's the reason for that. So, so most people are going to say to me, they're going to say, well, what if I can't find a place, or what if I can't find my new house in time? Remember, it's a seller's market. You're the seller on the sale of your home. You have all the leverage. You can negotiate to make your sale of your home contingent upon you finding your home of choice, meaning that you could extend the closing date as long as you needed to in order to find and close on your home of choice, and you close on them both on the same day. So that's the nice thing about you having the leverage as the seller. Is you're not going to be in a situation where you're rushed. You're not going to lose a deal. You're not going to be forced to sell if you can't find a house. We also have the leverage as a seller, so we could set the original closing date out quite a ways, a little farther than normal, so you have plenty of time to find the right home. So those are the two biggest concerns people have with listing their home before they really start shopping.
Well, yeah, and how many people can afford, I would imagine, okay, the house you want to sell, you still have.
Yep.
You've just purchased a new home.
Yep.
How many people can afford 2 mortgages?
Yeah, exactly. So you don't, and we'll get into that even more too, because the bank, the bank has to say you qualify to buy this new home, even if you continue to own your own home indefinitely.
Okay.
So that would be, if you're making a lot more money than when you bought your home, and you have a lot of equity in your home, and you can afford the 2 payments based on, your debt to income ratio. And I've seen it happen, but I'd say on more than half the situations, they do need to sell in order to buy their next home. So why do we want to sell and get a contract on your home before? Well, like we said, it's a seller's market. So, it's going to be a situation where when we're shopping for a home, if you have a home sale contingency, even if you outbid the other buyers, like let's say you outbid the next highest buyer on the perfect dream home for you by $4,000, they're probably going to take the $4,000 less offer if it doesn't have a home sale contingency.
Oh, sure.
A home sale contingency presents a lot of risk to a seller because there's a lot of stuff that could go wrong. An offer without a home sale contingency has a lot fewer things that can go wrong. Probably the biggest riskiest contingency for a seller is a home sale contingency. Because how do I know you're going to price your home right? How do I know that your home is going to show well? How do I know that people are going to like it? Even in this market, when you price and market a home properly, it's going to sell. But the sellers just don't want to take that risk of something going wrong with your sale. If you have a contingency, it's going to be really hard to get a seller to accept your offer in this market. There's lots of buyers who don't have homes to sell, and you're going to be competing against them, that's an unfair competition. If you've got a home to sell, the other buyers don't have a home to sell, you can outbid them.
Yeah.
You're still going to probably lose. So if you don't have to sell your home in order to qualify to buy the next one, this is the ultimate best case scenario for you. So instead of having to put your house on the market before you start shopping, you can start shopping before you put your house on the market. And because since you don't have to make it contingent upon your home selling, you can actually compete against buyers who don't have a house to sell at all, because your offer is not contingent, so your offer looks exactly the same as theirs. So you actually have a good shot. If your dream home comes up, you actually have a good shot of getting it. Whereas if you have to make that home sale contingency, even if you wait for your dream home to come up, chances are you're not going to get it. It's going to be somebody else's dream home too. You're going to get outbid, or they're not going to take your offer. So you might be worried that you could get stuck owning 2 properties, right? Because you're offering on this home with no contingency before you even list your home. But in this market, like I said, if something is priced properly and marketed properly, it is going to sell. So even though there's a leap of faith on both sides,
sure,
right? But this leap of faith this leap of faith can be less hassle to you, because you don't have to worry about putting your house on the market, getting it all ready, dealing with showings. Because even if you don't find a house, then you never put your house on the market at all, and it's fine for you.
Years ago, we bought our first starter house in Grand Forks, and we wanted to buy, when we bought our second home, they were in the same boat as we were. It was contingency on us selling our home. Well, they were in the same boat. They needed to find a new home before they could move out. So what we did was we kind of flip-flopped mortgages, if you will. They paid ours, we paid theirs until they bought their house, whatever. The only bad thing about that was their mortgage was about twice as what ours was. So we paid it, for a couple of months before they were able to find a new home, and we were able to move in and sell ours.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And they paid your mortgage?
They paid what we would normally pay for ours. We paid what they would normally pay for theirs, and we just kind of paid each other's.
They weren't buying your home.
Even though they weren't buying our home. No.
That's an interesting setup.
Yeah, well, it saved them a lot of money.
Heard of that. Yeah, that worked out well for them. I don't know if I've heard of that one before. And how many months did you have to wait?
It was a couple.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
It's really not
that big of a
long
deal.
time. So you agreed to buy their house. Was their house on the market?
Yeah, yes, it was.
Okay, so you agreed to buy their house and then wait for them to find the type of house that they were looking for.
Yeah.
And you had your house, and did you already have an offer on your house?
We did not have an offer on our house yet.
So how much longer did it take for you to sell yours?
Not that much. Like I said, it was all said and done in a couple of months.
For both houses, so it worked out pretty well.
It worked out pretty
Yeah.
good, but that's kind of a unique story for you. You've never heard that before?
It'd be a little unusual because if you're not living in the house, for you to pay their mortgage is a little different. And then if they're not the one buying your house and they're not living in your house, that's a little unusual for them to be paying your mortgage.
Yeah,
And it sounds like you said, they were they're paying less than you were. Huh?
And I'm sure it's probably not something that's recommended very often to do.
If I was representing them, I might like it.
Yeah.
But no, you hear new stuff like that every day, so that's interesting to me. And it worked out, and you got what you wanted, and they got what they wanted, and you made it happen. So that's what matters.
And you use the word contingency a lot.
Yes.
And I mean, I know what it means, but if somebody's just tuning in today, what exactly does that word mean? Because that word means a ton in this business.
Yes, so I'll try to explain this as simply as possible. A contingency is something that needs to happen in order for you to move forward. So, for example, pretty much anybody who's buying a house using a loan, there's a financing contingency. It's contingent on you successfully getting your financing. So, if you're buying my house and your purchase of my house is contingent on your financing going through, and let's say something changes drastically in your financial situation where you no longer qualify, you'd be able to back out of it because your financing contingency was not met. And that would mean you get your earnest money back.
Okay.
And so it's basically like on a typical home sale, when nobody has a house to sell to buy the, if you're buying my house and you're renting right now, so you don't need to sell a home or anything, it's pretty normal for your offer to be contingent on financing, inspection, and appraisal. Those are the three common contingencies. If you're buying cash, now you don't need to have that. You don't need to have that appraisal contingency if you don't want it.
Yep.
You're not going to have the financing contingency, and it's up to you if you have the inspection contingency. Even if you're buying a house with a mortgage, you don't need to have an inspection contingency. You could drop your inspection contingency if you were in a bidding war and you wanted your offer to be more attractive.
Okay.
And if, let's say, you live in a house right now that you need to sell, and you're trying to buy mine, and you're pre-approved subject to you selling your home, then you're going to have a financing contingency, an inspection contingency, probably an appraisal contingency, and a home sale contingency. So
basically it means it's
like a subject to something happening.
there you go.
Yep.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
What is supply like, or how many houses are on the market right now?
Right now, 139.
139.
And I believe 34 or 35 of them already have accepted offers and are waiting for that inspection contingency to clear.
Okay.
So
how busy are you?
Very
running
busy.
around pretty good?
Yeah, it's probably so you know how I always say we go in waves where you get really busy, you have a lot of business. So I've gotten a ton of, I think I probably have close to 10 pending deals right now, and
Wow.
so now trying to help them along from contract to close. A couple new listings coming up within the next couple of weeks. So yeah, I'm pretty swamped still. It's that busy time of year, hot market. So
Interest rates still hanging down there, 2.7-ish, somewhere around there?
yeah, you know what? I didn't check before I came in, but I think they're still right in that like 2.7 to 2.9 range. Yeah, I should check on that to be sure.
So now's the time to buy.
Now's the time to buy. Low interest rates benefit everybody. There's not many things in a market that benefit both buyers and sellers because those two kind of compete against each other, right? Interest rates are probably like the only thing that benefits both buyers and sellers because it allows buyers to afford more house, and it allows sellers to get more money for their house. And the only person taking less money is the bank over the term of that 30-year loan.
Sure.
So
the ones that should be taking the less.
yeah,
the
there you
least.
go. There you go. We want the homeowners and the home buyers to be winning.
How does somebody get a hold of realty expert John Brodeen?
Follow my Facebook page, John Brodeen, Berkshire Hathaway Realtor, for monthly market updates and lots of information. Reach out to me on my cell if you are wanting to become my client. reach out to me on my cell phone, 701-213-5428.
And we can't say this enough. You want to get a hold of him early. If you're thinking
Yes.
about getting into a new home sometime this summer or even fall,
Yep.
now's the time to get a hold of John Brodeen.
100%.
And I tell you what, if you get that new house, you want to tweak it a little bit, get a hold of Executive Properties. They can get all types of stuff done for you. Kitchen, bathrooms, doors, siding, concrete, cabinets, trim and tile. They're going to listen to what you want done, and they're going to do it right. They've got over 30 years of experience, one heck of a crew over there. Executive Properties, buy that new house, maybe make it look a little different for you. Call them up, 701-330-1273, or check out executiveproperties.org. John Brodeen, are you going to be back again on Friday?
Yes, I'll be back Friday.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
There you go. That's your Berkshire Hathaway bi-weekly podcast on GFBS.